Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about Jennifer Lopez, yes, the queen of style, music, and movies. J.Lo has opened up about something really interesting, a film she once turned down because she didn't like the script. And guess what? That movie later became a big success. So let's dive into what happened and why she made that decision. Jennifer Lopez has had one of the most fascinating careers in Hollywood. She's a singer, dancer, actress, businesswoman, basically a full-on entertainment powerhouse. From her breakout role in Selena to her chart-topping songs like On the Floor, J.Lo has done it all. But like every actor, she's also had moments where she said no to projects that later made headlines. Recently, J.Lo admitted in an interview that she once turned down a major film offer because she didn't think the script was strong enough. She didn't mention the movie's name directly, but it seems like it was one of those films that later turned into a huge box office success. When asked about it, she said, "At that time, I just didn't connect with the story. It didn't feel right to me." Now, that's a very relatable moment for any artist. Sometimes, when you read a script or hear a song, it either clicks or it doesn't. Jennifer said that back then, she was in a different space creatively. She wanted to take on roles that felt empowering, meaningful, and aligned with where she was personally. And that's why she passed on the project. But later, when the movie came out, she was surprised by how well it did. She admitted that when she finally watched it, she thought, "Wow, maybe I should have taken that one." It was one of those moments where you look back and realize how unpredictable the film industry really is. Jennifer explained that as an artist, you can never really predict what will become a hit. Sometimes you believe in a movie that flops, and sometimes you reject one that turns into a classic. And that's just the nature of Hollywood. She also shared that she doesn't really regret her decision. In fact, she said that every no she's ever said helped her grow. Each decision led her to the next opportunity, and it shaped the kind of artist she became. She believes that timing plays a huge role in everything, and if something isn't meant for you, it's okay to walk away. Fans were curious about which film she turned down, and while she didn't give a name, there have been a lot of speculations online. Some fans guessed it could have been Chicago, while others thought it might have been Monsters Ball, a movie that eventually won Halle Berry her Oscar. Whether or not that's true, it just shows how many offers come a star's way in Hollywood, and how one choice can change everything. Jennifer's career choices have always been bold. She's taken risks, played diverse roles, and constantly reinvented herself. From romantic comedies like The Wedding Planner and Made in Manhattan to intense dramas like Hustlers, she's proved her range over and over again. She mentioned in the same interview that in her early career, she often struggled with the pressure of choosing the right roles. The industry expected her to look glamorous all the time, but she wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. Turning down that particular film was her way of staying true to her gut feeling, even if it meant missing out on a big opportunity. J.Lo also shared that she's learned to trust her instincts more than ever. Back then, she felt like she had to overthink everything: how it would look, what critics would say, whether the role would work for her image. But today, she focuses on whether a story moves her. If she doesn't feel something emotionally, she simply says no. She even laughed about it, saying that sometimes the movies she didn't take end up being the ones people remember the most. But she takes it all in stride. She said, "At the end of the day, I'm proud of the choices I've made because they reflect who I am." Jennifer's honesty is one of the reasons her fans admire her so much. She doesn't try to hide the fact that she's made mistakes or missed chances. Instead, she uses those moments to inspire others. She believes that saying no can sometimes be just as powerful as saying yes, And that's an important message, especially for young artists out there. In fact, this revelation has sparked a lot of conversation among her fans. Many people online said they respect her even more for admitting this. Because in an industry full of people who try to pretend they never make wrong choices, Jennifer's transparency feels refreshing. She's also known for being very reflective about her past. Whether it's about her career, her relationships, or her performances, she often looks back at her journey with gratitude. In her own words, "Everything I've done, the hits and the misses, made me who I am." Now, at this stage in her career, J.Lo continues to explore new challenges. She's producing films, making music, and performing around the world. She says that looking back, every project she didn't take opened the door to something else that was meant for her. And that's a really beautiful perspective, that life has its own plan, even when things don't go the way we expect. So maybe that movie wasn't meant to be her moment. But the truth is, Jennifer Lopez has created many iconic moments since then. From performing at the Super Bowl to headlining tours and starring in acclaimed films, she's carved her own path and built a legacy that stands strong. And honestly, that's what makes her story so inspiring. She didn't let one missed opportunity define her. She kept going, she kept working, and she kept growing. That's what true confidence and self-belief look like. Jennifer went on to explain that when she first started in Hollywood, it wasn't always easy to be taken seriously as an actress. She was often labeled as just a singer or just a dancer. So, when she got offered movie scripts, she really wanted to choose ones that would prove her acting skills. That's why she was extra careful about the kind of roles she accepted. Turning down that particular script, she said, came from a place of wanting to protect her artistic reputation. She remembered reading the script and feeling like something was missing. "It just didn't speak to me," she said. Sometimes, even if everyone around you says it's a great opportunity, you have to listen to your inner voice. That inner voice, according to her, has always been her guiding force throughout her career. Even though the film later turned into a success, Jennifer never looked back with regret. She said she was genuinely happy for the people who made it and that she learned an important lesson, that success can come in many forms. Sometimes, she said, you're meant to admire something from afar and let someone else have their moment.